Hey guys, so this video is for all of you who see my stuff and think, oh, that's pretty cool, or wow, that's really needed, but you don't think that it's necessarily for you. And maybe it's not. Or maybe you're on the fence of, that sounds kind of cool, and I'm curious about what those strengths are that she talks about, but I'm not really sure. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up as to who I work with and what type of people I have as clients. So first of all, teenagers. Obviously, I talk about teenagers and my desire to help them with their anxiety and stresses and all that kind of stuff a lot. But I also work with those of you who have teenagers as well. I work with young adults, especially those that are just getting out and like trying to figure out this whole adulting thing and aren't really sure. They don't want to live by everybody's expectations anymore. They want to set their own set of rules for themselves, and they no longer want to have to do what everybody else is telling them that they should do. But it's also kind of scary as well. So they're not really sure what that looks like. So I work with them. I work with parents to help you have a good connection, not only with your kids, but one another as well. We all think that parents need to be on the same page and have the same message, and that's not necessarily the case. So I teach you how to respect one another's pages and messages so that you can have a united front with your kids while still being your unique self and offering your children each of your own gifts, okay? So I go through that. And then also I work with teachers. I know you can't apply strengths to every one of the like 30 some kids you have in your classroom, but if you understand yours, you can help your students understand you better. And it's a good tool to give them in lessening their anxiety and stress over what you're like and what, how they can do things right in your classroom. And then also it helps you realize too that your students are obviously all unique. You guys know that, but it's so easy to want to just like have them all do things the same way because let's face it makes your world easier as a teacher, right? So this helps give you a little bit more of an insight as to where some of your students may be coming from and how to guide things in a way that's going to help them and resonate with them a little bit more while still staying in your program. Okay. I work with people who have been married for a long time, and maybe the marriage is great and you just want to strengthen that bond between the two of you by taking this and understanding it to yourselves and each other to another level. Maybe some things are on the rocks and you're kind of struggling a little bit, or you just would really like to not feel so frustrated with one another as much as you do. This helps tremendously with that. Also newlyweds, you could be in the bliss of your relationship right now, and the information that I offer on relationships will just help solidify that and keep you going in that path so that you don't veer off in other directions, like maybe you've seen other adults or your parents, or, oh my gosh, are we really gonna look and sound like that in 20 years or whatever? Empty nesters. Hey, guy, I get you. We struggle with our identity once our kiddos are gone, and so many try to stay so harnessed and connected into their kids' lives, which is great to have that bond, but we each do need to live our own lives too in the way that we see fit. And your kids are most likely going to go off and make their own decisions and do their own things and maybe move far away. And you have to find out more about you and start focusing yourself on yourself so that it doesn't drive you and everybody else around you, especially your adult kids, crazy. So empty nesters, I got you. And for the retireds, like, wow, this is a whole new space in your life too. You're used to working for so many years. You're used to feeling like you are contributing and you don't know what things look like anymore. And you really don't want to just sit around and watch TV all day or go putz around the garden. You want to feel like you're more and offer more to this world. And understanding your gifts, even at whatever age that you're at, will help you feel stronger about yourself and will help you then be able to look at the world in a new light and figure something out that you may not have even thought about before, and in exploring or doing or whatever. So we can definitely make use of your strengths, for sure. So a lot of times people are feeling stuck or frustrated or disengaged or unmotivated, or like their confidence is pummeled for some reason, or maybe it's always been kind of on the low side. Any type of sort of angst or just irritation that you would like to not feel anymore, and you'd rather you have this desire to feel confident and to feel motivated and to feel accepted and affirmed for who you are, instead of always feeling like you have to justify or explain yourself to people. You don't want to fit into everybody else's way of doing things. You want to embrace your uniqueness, but you maybe aren't exactly sure what that looks like, or gosh, it seems to change from day to day, and who am I really? Or I think I know who I am, or you're darn right I know who I am, but you still kind of struggle with second guessing that or feeling proud of a lot of the aspects of yourself. And you want to feel good, and you want to be able to go out into the world and say, here I am, and this is what I've got for you, and feel proud and feel really motivated by who you are and how you do things best. Either in yourself or, again, along with a relationship. Maybe even we work with your whole family dynamic and get you guys all where you're laughing again, and you're feeling respected and you're feeling appreciated, and there isn't so much nagging, and you just understand each other more. So there isn't the, pull up the hoodie or close the door, or the wife sits in one room and the husband sits in another room, and you just kind of spend your time getting by. Okay, so I help get that spark back in life again. So the important part of this, though, is if you don't want to talk about your troubles, and you don't want to have to share about your childhood, and you don't like focusing on the negative, and you don't want to have to label struggles or feel like you're being put in some type of box, or I don't want to hire somebody to take me through their regimented program, whether it fits me or not. And just feel like, they're ticking the boxes of having me go through the different steps and stages and all that kind of stuff. But you'd rather have an experience where it's exactly that. It's just an experience. It's not in forever long going therapy sessions and how many more times do we have to go talk about how we feel and how things are going this week and all that kind of stuff. It's not what I do. Therapists are great, and sometimes we need them, and I can't provide the things that they do. So if you're looking for that, great. Find yourself a good therapist. But if you're looking for a little guidance or just a little pick-me-up, but you don't want therapy or you don't need it, I've got you covered, because we just go through your strengths. We talk about how each of the traits, the specific traits that show up in the order for you, and which ones are your strengths that you should build upon, and learn to understand that they're the gifts that only you can bring to the world, and how you can utilize them in every aspect of your life. So that's what we go through. And if you want one session and that's it, cool. You've gained a lot of information that either you didn't have before, or it just changed the perspective a little bit, or it gave you a good confirmation and reaffirmed for you things about yourself that you just might not have thought of as, really, that's my gift? You're darn right. That is your gift. Now go embrace it and go out there and light this world on fire with it. Or, hey, if that's not your thing and that's not what your strengths lead you to, then enjoy your quiet peace and do you the way that you're meant to do you. And that's all I try to help with. So again, if you've been on that fence, I highly encourage you to at least check out my website, feelempoweredeveryday.com. You can drop me your email address and I'll send you just a couple things. I'm bad about the emails. I'm not going to show up in your box every day, every week, sometimes even every month. But if you want information from me, I will send it to you. I have all kinds of stuff that you can look through to decide if this is for you. And we can set up a complimentary conversation call where we can just have a quick chat and let's get started. You'll take your assessment online. Simple as that. I go through the results and we talk about the results. That's it. So if you're on the fence, come join me.